Today's video is brought to you by Epidemic Sound, my go-to music source for all of my client projects. If you've been watching the videos on this channel for a little while now, you might remember a few years ago I used to make content about how to grow your business and how to get clients. And I stopped making content like that for one very simple reason. It's confusing. A lot of this type of content is confusing because it throws around these blanket statements like always do this, never do that. Ultimately, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna figure it out for myself and report back to you guys later. And here we are, a couple years later, I've gone from a fairly inexperienced videographer with a modest client base and basically no savings to now having a pretty successful and sustainable business creating content for reputable brands. The point of today's video is to share with you 3 very important mindset shifts that I went through over the past few years that got me from there to here. This is purely based on my own experiences. Everybody's experience can be different, and by no means is this intended to be a my way or the highway type of video. Let's begin with our first mindset shift, which is I stopped trying to be a jack of all trades. Early on in my freelancing business, I wanted to be a one-stop shop. I wanted to be the person with the camera that when anybody needed anything to do with photos or videos, they could come to me and I could get the job done. Cooking videos, absolutely. Nightclub promos, of course. LinkedIn headshots, sure. Baby shower photos, sign me up. What I didn't realize at the time is that by doing all this different stuff, I did not have an identity. Let's be honest, baby showers and nightclubs don't exactly, I mean, unless you're having a baby shower at a nightclub, but. Okay, now hear me out. If you're a photographer or a videographer and you're just starting out, absolutely do as much work as you can, get all that experience, find out what things you like to shoot, what things you don't like to shoot. This is super important. But beyond that stage, once you've started getting more work and you're getting a little bit into a rhythm and you're developing your skills, you should start to think more about your brand identity. When you don't have brand identity, you don't have marketability, and it is better to be an expert at a few things than to be mediocre or subpar at everything. For myself, I've always gravitated towards the marketing side of content. I love making commercials, I love making videos that sell products and services, so that is what I focused on. If you're a company looking for a product commercial, who are you more likely to hire? A person who specializes in product commercials, or a person who sometimes films baby showers, sometimes films nightclubs, sometimes films weddings, but also sometimes films commercials? I want to be clear that there is absolutely nothing wrong with filming all those other things like baby showers, nightclubs, weddings. You can do whatever you want and build a sustainable business out of it. But if your goal is that, to build a sustainable business, you should think a little bit about your brand identity. All right, so let's move on to mindset shift number 2. I stopped begging clients to hire me. When you're first starting out and you have no clients, you don't have a portfolio, it is important to get your name out there. Send those emails, network, and go to events. It's a very important step. But at a certain point, I started to realize that even though I had a few clients and I was getting consistent work, I was sitting there wondering, is this it? So what I started doing is instead of focusing on how I can get clients, I started fixating on how do I get clients to come to me. It's funny because looking back now, the answer has become so clear. I just had to make better work. Now, I did say the answer was clear, but I never said it was simple. Making better work requires time, it requires effort, it requires frustration, it requires caring. Under promise, over deliver, no matter how small or big the project is. Complacency is the greatest barrier to your own growth. Now, I know what you might be thinking, Daniel, you're a YouTuber. The only reason you have clients is because you have all these followers, and to that I would say it's actually quite the opposite. The reason this YouTube channel is successful is largely in part due to the fact that I do work for clients, not the other way around. It has always been my priority to share knowledge through actual experience rather than just pretending. And the funny thing, and this might be a surprise to some of you, is that brands oftentimes don't even let me post behind the scenes of the work I create for them. In simple terms, brands do not care how many subscribers I have, they do not care how many views I get. All they care about is, can I create the content they're asking for? So if you want to get to a point where clients are coming to you, you have to figure out a way to create better work and add more value. What I found is to add more value, you have to invest back into your business, whether that's through time, energy, and learning, or just through actual investment of upgrading your tools and producing higher quality. People often say that gear does not matter, and that is true within a certain context, but at a certain point, a natural part of growing any business is to invest back into it and upgrade. And I'm talking about all kinds of things. I'm talking about cameras, filters, we're talking about lighting, we're talking about audio. I'm even talking about backdrops, tripods, editing software, and of course, music. Now, I am aware that everybody pretty much already knows about Epidemic Sound. They've got a huge library of royalty-free music. Their personal plan has been extremely popular for several years now, but everybody seems to be sleeping on the commercial plan. If you're somebody who makes videos for clients, this is important. So let's say you just finished making a video for a local business, and now they're gonna take that video and put that on their social media accounts. Maybe that's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, etc. If you, the freelancer, have a commercial plan with Epidemic Sound, all you have to do is log into your account and copy and paste the links to their videos, and that's it. They are now in the clear and do not have to worry about any copyright issues. This is huge because you can repeat this an unlimited amount of times for every single one of your clients and your own work in social media, and this does include paid social media ads. I've been using this exact method for all of my client work for quite a while now, to the point where some of my clients actually went ahead and got their own commercial plan. So if you or your client are interested in trying the commercial plan, then go to the link down in the description below and use the code Daniel Schiffer to get a 60-day free trial. Thank you to Epidemic Sound for sponsoring this video. Moving along, let's talk about mindset shift number 3, and this one is my favorite. Change the way you think about competition. Like many people, I used to think that other photographers and videographers were my direct competition. I thought that if they were getting more work, that would mean less work left for me. And I realized early on that this is a poisonous outlook to have. Yeah, poisonous. How's that for an adjective? But I'm being serious. If you view everyone else in your field as the enemy, effectively all you're doing is alienating yourself and closing doors. What I have actually found to be a lot more constructive and beneficial is to reach out to those people and make friends, establish connections, build a network. When you meet Tommy and Stacy at an event and you say, hey, let me know if you ever need help on a shoot, you are opening the door to more experience. You're opening the door to more connections, more relationships, and that is never a bad thing. One of the biggest things that I have learned in my early and mid-20s is that you have no idea where people might end up. Tommy and Stacy 2 years from now, they might be working for a big ad agency or PR company, and believe me when I say, that is a good connection to have. I know this might be hard to believe, but most of my referrals nowadays don't come through friends and family or my YouTube channel. They actually come through other connections and creatives who work directly in my field. But that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to Epidemic Sound for sponsoring this video. Make sure you go to the link in the description below and use the code Daniel Schiffer to get a 60-day free trial of the commercial plan. Follow me on Instagram at daniel.schiffer, and I will see you guys in the next video.